don't ask, my situation is kind of weird right now. This is a problem. This is a problem. I'm sorry, I have to rant, but this is a problem. Bras are stupid. Hey guys, it's Kay, and today I have not your average ASMR video. In fact, it's not an ASMR video. I'm still going to be talking relatively lowly, only because I don't want it to be jarring for my usual sweet sleepers. Hi guys, I love you. But it is a story time video, I guess. I don't know if those are even really still a thing, if people do those, but here's mine. It's actually a video that I really didn't want to make, and for a little while there, legally could not. So that tells you how kind of intense this is. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hi, my name is Kay. That's at least what you can call me. And typically I make ASMR videos, sleep aid videos, girlfriend dating content, mental health videos, Yandere videos, and monster girl videos. So if any of that sounds interesting to you and not too cringe, then go ahead and click through some of them. There will be links in the cards and links down below to some of my personal favorites and some of my lovely sweet sleepers' personal favorites as well. At least I hope that they're your favorites. You guys seem to view them, so that should count for something. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of say that was that's the spiel on my channel. If you do enjoy those videos, go ahead and give the ones you like a thumbs up, and don't give them a thumbs down. That just means that secretly you like it and you're just too lame to admit it. And subscribe, because honestly, I have a lot of fun stories to tell, and some of them are the fictional kind that you will hear in my typical Yandere series, and some of them are my real life. This happens to be one of those. You can tell I'm being extra serious because I'm wearing my glasses, although they might go away because there it is, the glare. Woo! So we'll see as I continue recording whether they're on or the glasses come off. Bum bum. I don't know why I'm so lame. Please don't click away from my video. Let's get to the juicy details. Okay, so, just to start off, with the type of content that I make, more leaning towards the girlfriend, Yandere, and such, content, I guess that makes certain people feel like I'm more available to them, which is not the case. I'm not. I want to keep a lot of my private life private. I will not be referring to my state or city. I do live in the United States, I will go that far, but my state or city as such, because, look, if you see me out in public, or I go to lots of cons just for funs, I'm not a big enough YouTuber to go to cons, like, for real, but, like, I go for funsies. If you see me out in public and you actually recognize this dork, then come up and say hi. I will give hugs. Hugs are great, and I love meeting people, every single one of you, so that's super cool, but also, I don't want you coming to my job if it were such a place that you could just walk into. That being said, please don't go looking for me. So, all of the disclaimers and housekeeping aside, I honestly don't know. I talked for quite a while there. How much of that I'm going to keep in and how much I'm going to cut out. Unbranded, totally not from a Starbucks, I mean, the unbranded drink of choice, today in hand. Let's get started. So, if I look down, also I have notes, or if I look over, it's just to make sure my recording equipment is functioning, because this is the 5th time I've tried recording this video. That's TMI, y'all don't need to know that, so here we are. Cool. Bisexual finger guns for the win. So, I'm so weird and I'm so sorry. It all started, I'm not a big YouTuber at all. At all. There are nearly 60 of you, and that counts as big in my book, but as far as the grand scale of things, I'm not even a drop in the bucket. And I understand that, so making this video makes me seem really egotistical, but I do have proof of what happened. I had, again, I'm assuming it was a subscriber, a few weeks ago, send me an email. That's not unheard of. I've gotten a couple of emails, I've gotten a couple of DMs, on my social medias, and I've even gotten, comments on videos requesting different content, requesting that I tackle something in one way or another, and even just personal, like, hey, you're a new YouTuber in this sphere, but I really appreciate you kind of stuff, and that's super good. This one, however, was not that good. So what happened? Well, it started with a uncomfortable email. All of these screenshots are coming from my phone because I regularly don't have internet access on my computer. Don't ask, my situation is kind of weird right now. This is a problem. This is a problem. I'm sorry, I have to rant, but this is a problem. Bras are stupid. That, and I read the next couple lines, which were something along the lines, I'm not going to go through it, I will put it up there somewhere, maybe, to kind of, so you can read, but it was, I jerk off to you several times a day, and then it went into, I want this content to get more sexual, more explicit. And you're like, well, that's just creepy, that's not really a stalker. Yes, you are correct. But there's more to it. So I got a kind of threatening-ish message, email, saying the things about wanting more explicit, more sexual content. Look, if you go to my Ko-Fi page, there are options for that, but that's not going to make it on YouTube because the YouTube algorithm is a nasty SOB, and I'm not going to mess with that. If you want sexual content and SFW content, you're gonna have to pay for it. Guess what? I'm not a very nice person, I guess, because this person came back with calling me all kinds of names. I'm not telling this in a very cohesive manner, and I'm sorry about that. Also, I am going to have to be letting my dog out. He's whining at my door, so I will be right back. Alright, y'all. I'm back. I do apologize for not telling any of this in a cohesive manner, but basically my first email interaction with this person was just requesting a lot more NSFW content. Again, go down below. That's not the way I wanted to describe that, but go down below for my Ko-Fi links, and you can find, if you're interested in that, you can find that. If you're not, totally up to you, and I really don't blame you, because no one actually would be ever interested in me, and I understand that. But, moving on from my self-hatred humor, so I responded to this person, by just saying I thought, yes, I can make NSFW content. I can make personalized content if that's more along the lines of what you were wanting. But you're going to have to pay for it, because I don't actually feel comfortable doing that. That takes my time and my resources. I have a microphone, I have expensive editing software, I have a camera, I have a lot of stuff going on, and making extra content besides what I make for the YouTube channel takes a bit more time and effort, so if you want something extra, you're going to actually have to pay for it. That's where things turned a little violent. They sent me another message, well, that's rude. They sent me another message, saying that I was a bitch. I don't like cursing that much on my channel, but here we are, calling me all kinds of horrendous names, and saying that they will find out where I live, and they will get, their revenge. Now, not trying to give too much of my personal information away, I'm not going to go into where I live, but I don't think very many people expect me to live where I do, so... Anyway, I got a weird phone call, from this number, and then I got a voicemail the very next time. The voicemail was, I'm not going to play because I feel it's a little too personal. It gives, this person's voice, and as much as I'm frightened and legally looking into what I can do, I know that I shouldn't be sharing that, but the voicemail essentially said, you live at blah 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 address. I know this now. And they were right. I do live at that address. And so, unlike a normal human, I didn't tell anyone about it. A smart person would have told somebody about it. And, I didn't. I was out with some friends, and I got a phone call, telling me that I had to get home immediately because someone tried breaking in. This happened a few days after that voicemail, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I mean, the neighborhood I live in isn't that great. It's not bad. I'm safe. There's not, like, gunshots going on. Probably. But, it's not a good neighborhood either. And, so I rushed home, and, I have a big dog. A picture of him will probably show up here. His name is Buddy, and he is best boy. But he was stricken up. Everyone that I live with was shaken up, and I will probably insert a photo of the door that I had to nail back shut. The door jamb that I had to nail back shut because it was broken pretty bad. Someone actually tried to kick it in. I could also take a photo of the door and the dings of, like, someone's foot. I did have to call the police, and an officer did come out, and they spoke to me about the situation. And they may have a lead on the person who did this. So that means that the subscriber who did this lives in my area, or at least in my county, because I live slightly outside of town. So, the sheriff had to come out, not a, actual city officer, if that makes sense. Probably not. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at actually explaining things unless I have a script in front of me, which is why all of my videos are scripted except for this kind. And my normal ASMR videos. Anyway, so, that happened, and then I showed the officer the voicemail so they could kind of get voice match. It gets worse. I got a couple of more emails from the same address, and they were very violent descriptions of what they were going to do to me because I wronged them by wanting to charge money for a service that I'm providing. I won't put up all of them because I feel like these are too violent. If you do have a curiosity of what these emails contained, I will, for a very short period of time, make that a Ko-Fi tier. FYI, also I'm using Ko-Fi instead of Patreon because Ko-Fi is the cheaper option, and Patreon, I am against some of their policies. Maybe a video on that later if I decide that I'm going to start making more storytime-ish content. Anyway, so the next thing that happened was these emails that basically described the very, very violent way that they were going to skin my dog and sexually assault me. Someone who is a survivor of that, I didn't take that lightly at all. This time I actually did tell somebody. I told my parents, I told some of my friends, and of course I called back out the officer. We will call him Officer McDoon. We will call him Officer McDoon because he makes the ladies McSwoon. If you understand that reference, you are now my best friend, and you are actually welcome to come to my home and we can geek out about Team Stalker. Anyway, I'm trying to cover up the situation with humor. Is it working? No, of course not. I'm too lame for that. Anyway, so that's basically where it is right now. All of that being said, for a little while, I'm going to slow down on the Yandere content, just because currently it's making me upset. It's hard to write those dark kind of things, when I'm experiencing it IRL, so, that being said, I'm sorry about that, but, yeah, the next thing is, I'm going to be making more, cute, more innocent, no, innocent isn't the right word, not that my other videos aren't innocent, that's what started this whole thing in the first place, but more friendly, non-Yandere content for just until September, because living it IRL, I don't feel okay with making that kind of content. Give me a little bit of time to recharge on that, but please say subscribe, please, because I have a lot of really cool Yandere content coming up. Right now, I am going to be making more typical ASMR, some bedtime stories. I have a fun new book. I don't have it on me. Hold on. I'm going to be reading Much to Do About Mean Girls. It's a Shakespearean look at Mean Girls. I know Shakespeare sounds hella boring, but trust me when I say not in the Mean Girls form. So that's going to be a book. So that's going to be the bedtime story series. Keep subscribed for that because a lot of hilariousness. It is literally word for word the Mean Girls script, just written with therefores and so forth. Also, if any one of you ever threatens me, I will go Yandere myself. So, all of that being said, for all of you that are perfectly sane, non-threatening, non-harmful individuals, I love you, and you're wonderful. If you are not subscribed, subscribe if you are interested in any of the things I've mentioned. And, yeah. Just to go back to standard form, I thought it'd be pretty nice to end this video with our 5 deep breaths, because right now my heart rate is doki doki. So let's get your guys' heart rate down as well. I'm typically try to end my normal ASMR videos with 5 deep breaths, because it is clinically shown that 5 or more deep breaths actually slows down the heart rate more for sleep. So let's start with that. I feel much better. I hope that you do too. And sleep, sweet, sweet sleeper.